UFC 298 is in 2 weeks. Alex Volkanovski, the featherweight GOAT, the man who has defeated everyone he has faced in the featherweight division, will be fighting the tough, undefeated, third-ranked featherweight fighter, Ilia Topuria. This fight feels like a toss-up. Both fighters have a strong case on why they can win, and it seems like this might be the best time for this fight. This is a classic kickboxer versus boxer matchup. Both fighters have great grappling skills and can both finish each other. We're going to break down this fight. I'm going to tell you who I think is going to win, how I think the fight's going to play out, and how I think each fighter can win. But before we get into it, please give this video a like, comment who you think is going to win or how you think the fight will play out, and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. Now let's get into it. UFC featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski is looking for his 6th title defense against Ilia Topuria. Now, many people are doubting Volkanovski and saying he's getting older, he's coming off a knockout loss. Yeah, he's had a great reign and he's the featherweight GOAT, but Ilia Topuria is this next guy, undefeated, he has the power, he's going to stop Volkanovski. And although I think a lot of this is true, I wouldn't overlook Volkanovski. Now, I'm not saying I think Volkanovski will win or I think he's got the better game plan, but I do think there are a couple of things that Volkanovski has that might stump Topuria for a little bit. Volkanovski has beaten the who's who. He's defeated Max Holloway 3 times, knocked out Yair Rodriguez, beat Brian Ortega, beat the Korean Zombie, beat Jose Aldo, beat Chad Mendes. Volkanovski knows how to fight. He's beaten all these great fighters, and he knows how to alter his game plan during the fight to win. Right? You see this in the Max Holloway fights where all 3 of them, where Max Holloway will do something, Volk will do something. Max Holloway will change something, Volk will change something. He's always one up in something. Even if you go back and look at that Brian Ortega fight, that crazy 3rd round where Brian Ortega almost submitted Volkanovski twice, and Volk got out of it. There's been so many times where Volk has fought where he's had so much adversity, where people have put him in very tough situations and he's overcame them. And I think you will see that same thing in this fight. Now, Topuria is a great fighter, undefeated. He's tough. He's a great boxer. But I went back and watched Topuria and Emmett, and there was a couple of things that caught my eye that I think are a little concerning going into this Volkanovski fight. Now, I think Topuria is great. He puts out a lot of volume. He can grapple well. He has great defense. His boxing is amazing. He slips and he rolls. My only issue with Topuria is that he doesn't throw that many leg kicks, and he also doesn't check that many leg kicks. If you go back and watch the Josh Emmett and Topuria fight, I think it's around the 2nd, 3rd round. Topuria's left leg is pretty red from Josh Emmett just throwing a couple of leg kicks. And you see Topuria's movement kind of slow down a little bit, but by that time around the 3rd, 4th round, Emmett was eating a lot of shots. Topuria was just landing more. Topuria didn't really have to rely on the movement as much because his shots were landing so well. My problem with Topuria is that I don't know if he's going to be able to game plan well to stop the leg kicks of Volkanovski and change something in the fight like how Volkanovski can. Now, Volkanovski is 35 years of age. He's coming off a very recent loss against Islam Makhachev where he got brutally knocked out. And we could go in there in this fight and see Volkanovski just slow down. He's not the same Volkanovski as he was 2-3 years ago. Topuria get the best of him, and it's the end of Volkanovski. We could see that, but Volkanovski is still the guy. Although Volkanovski is 35 years of age, he still has amazing stats. Volkanovski lands 6.19 significant strikes a minute, only absorbs 3.42 significant strikes a minute, which is insane. It's amazing for a champion. He has a +3 positive differential, which means he is landing 3 more significant strikes a minute than he is getting hit with. And Volk even has pretty good grappling stats as well. He lands 1.84 takedowns per 15 minutes and has a 70% takedown defense, which is amazing. But the man he is facing also has great stats. Ilia Topuria lands 4.44 significant strikes a minute, only absorbs 3.05 significant strikes a minute, which means Topuria is still landing more strikes than he is getting hit with. Topuria has amazing grappling stats. Topuria averages 2.19 takedowns per 15 minutes, and has a 92% takedown defense. I don't think you'll see this fight going into any grappling situations. Now, Volk does grapple or clinch up when he is getting hit with some good shots, and it helps him reset, but I don't think you'll really see much of a grappling stance because Topuria is really good with the takedown defense. He's really good in the clinch moments, and his inside boxing is so clean, it's so crisp. You see that in the Josh Emmett fight. So I don't think you'll see really any grappling affair in this. What I think will win this fight is the in-fight decisions between the two fighters. I am favoring Alexander Volkanovski to beat Ilia Topuria, and this is the only reason why. I think Alexander Volkanovski is still one of the smartest fighters in the UFC and in MMA in general. And I think in the fight, although Ilia Topuria may land some big shots, some big power shots, and might get the best of Volkanovski, Volkanovski has a better game plan. He can switch his mind. He can figure out the fight inside the fight and alter his game plan in order to beat Topuria. And I'm not saying Topuria can't do the same thing, but with Topuria being so young, and you see him make some mistakes in the Josh Emmett fight, the Bryce Mitchell fight, and even the Jai Herbert fight, he got dropped. I think you could see Volkanovski get the best of Ilia Topuria, and I even think Ilia Topuria could make a big mistake where Volkanovski could check him. Now, I don't think Topuria is going to get like caught in a submission or get knocked out, because I just don't think Volkanovski will be able to do that to Topuria. But I do think you will see Volkanovski pick apart Topuria, especially in the later rounds, rounds 3, 4, and 5, when he has the time and the reads and the speed down on Topuria. I think you'll see Volkanovski just chip away at Topuria. I think you'll see a lot of leg kicks. I think you'll see Topuria's movement definitely slow down. I think you'll see Volkanovski clinch up with Topuria whenever Topuria lands some big shots against Volk. So Volk resets and he kind of figures out which angles he's going to go in and how he's going to direct the fight. That's how I think the fight will play out. I think Volkanovski will win. I think it's going to be very close. Ilia Topuria can win this fight. Volkanovski is 35 years of age. He's coming off a brutal knockout loss against Islam Makhachev. But I think it's still the timing and the mental development of Topuria that is going to hurt him right here. I think Volkanovski is just a little bit smarter. He can change his game plan a little bit better during the fight. And I think that's what you'll see in this fight. I think Topuria might not be able to alter his game plan as much as Volkanovski. I think Volkanovski is just going to have a better game plan. I think he'll be able to use the leg kicks a little bit more. And I think if Volkanovski gets stuck in a bad situation, I think he'll be able to at least change his game plan compared to Topuria, where I feel like Topuria might just rely a little bit more on his power. But I am favoring Volkanovski, but this fight could go either way. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next video.